Hey everyone, Marvin here, and welcome back to Buddy Up Gaming. In this 7th episode of our Golden Path walkthrough for I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, we're stepping into Sol's 6th year on Vertumna, also known as Year 15. In the last episode, we helped Sol solve the colony's major starvation problem, only to see things unravel when Glow brought the deadliest attack yet. The colony was left in ruins, and it seemed like everything Sol fought for might be lost. But Year 15 brings a dramatic turnaround, thanks to the arrival of the Helios. So, what does success look like in Year 15? This year is all about fresh beginnings. We'll welcome 3 new friends with the arrival of the Helios, and since Sol only has 5 years to build their bonds, we'll start right away. We'll also finally purchase the vintage focus device, the single most powerful gear piece in the entire game. If you've struggled with tougher card challenges, this new gadget will completely change the way you play. The year opens on a grim note. The colony is battered, the walls are broken, and morale is low. It feels especially crushing after Sol's triumph over the starvation crisis. But after 2 long months of rebuilding, hope returns. The Helios makes its landing, a ship in far better shape than the Stratos ever was. More importantly, it brings fresh supplies, skilled colonists, and a chance to start over. Sol even gets their own room, which resets their stress back to 0. After everything they've endured, it feels like a new lease on life. The colony itself has expanded too. Engineering and the living quarters now sit to the northeast. Geoponics stretches out in the northwest, administration and the garrison anchor at the center, and expeditions push even farther south. It's worth taking a little time to explore and reacquaint yourself with the new layout. And of course, this is when Sol meets 3 new companions: Vase, the confident soldier in training; Nomi, a cheerful soul with a love for creativity; and Rex, an outgoing extrovert who thrives on bringing people together. All 3 start at 0 relationship points, which means we'll need to be deliberate if we want to max them out before the game ends. Among them, Rex is the easiest to raise quickly. In addition to giving him a mushwood log every season, Sol can also race in for a hug, which bumps his score by an additional 2 points. Combined with his early birthday in pollen season, it's possible to get Rex to 10 by dust season, which unlocks a special conversation. Trigger it only after Vertumna, while Sol has the popular status, and be ready with 100 kudos. You'll have the option to play a high card and walk away with a massive 200 kudos boost. While heroic status isn't available this year, expeditions are still valuable for gathering collectibles to gift your friends. In my run, I foraged the valley for eggs to give Nem and flowers for Mars and Tammy. When you talk to Utopia at the start of an expedition, you'll also unlock a new area, the Western Resting Ridge. This place is huge, and you'll be doing a lot of walking. It's here you'll find mysterious devices for Vase and colorful crystals that Nomi loves. You'll also want to keep talking to Sim during your explorations. If Sol hasn't met the Overseer yet, every conversation pushes you closer to that goal. At some point, Sim will share with Sol his desire to learn more about what it means to be human. To gather the data he needs, simply pop by the engineering building and choose the option to download data for Sim. Vertumna in Year 15 feels very different from the past. Governor Lum, brimming with confidence, gives a rousing speech to inspire the colonists. But not everyone takes kindly to his tone. When given the choice, I suggest siding with Nem by saying we should be mourning, not celebrating. The contests also change with the arrival of the Helios. Since participation is still tied to skill checks, I opted for the trivia contest to lean on Sol's high reasoning score. Winning not only provided a nice boost with Nomi, but also awarded a powerful blue card worth 8 points. By this stage, you should be close to unlocking the second engineering perk. If not, shift focus to study engineering, or aim to unlock the work construction activity in administration, which boosts engineering while also earning kudos and improving your relationship with Rex. Once you've got that perk and saved up 300 kudos, it's time to grab the vintage focus device from the depot. This thing is a game changer. It turns every blue card into a wild card, which means pairs and straights are ridiculously easy to create. Combined with your existing deck, it makes even the toughest challenges trivial. You'll notice how much smoother card battles become, especially if you've been struggling to win them during your expeditions to the valley and ridge. Once you've acquired the vintage focus device, give yourself a pat on the back. While there's still plenty of game left, we've now equipped Saul with everything they need to close out the run strong. From here on, you've got more flexibility in how to shape Saul's growth, but the main challenge will be maxing out relationships with the Helios kids before the game ends. To make that possible, we'll start working toward the final creativity perk, which allows Saul to give a gift every month instead of just once per season. That's a huge advantage for raising relationships quickly. The best way to get there is through the photo phoner, which you can acquire either by choosing it as a birthday gift back in year 12 or spending 100 kudos at the depot. The practice photo phoner activity in the living quarters gives the fastest creativity gains and even builds a little extra bond with Nomi. You should also start thinking about what career you'd like Saul to end the game with. Careers are determined primarily by which activities Saul spends the most time on, though a few have extra requirements layered on top. I've linked a detailed guide in the description if you want to explore every possible outcome, but for this run, I'm aiming for one of the most unique endings, Saul becoming governor of the colony. This governor path is a little different. It isn't awarded by the normal algorithm. Instead, Saul has to take matters into their own hands. One way to do this is by nominating themselves as a candidate when Mars gathers the crew in year 18. To unlock that option, Saul will need 70 rebellion and 50 persuasion. The rebellion check is straightforward if you've been pushing Saul in that direction. Persuasion, on the other hand, can be more of a grind. Thankfully, we can cut down that work dramatically with the right gear setup. The cool jacket from Mars in year 12, the brain trainer from the depot, and the emoji proji stolen from an event while working at the depot together give Saul a massive 45 persuasion boost. That means you only need to raise Saul's native persuasion score to 5. In my own run, I kept Saul's rebellion low, so I had to take a different route. Instead of nominating Saul directly, I supported Mars's candidacy early on, and then staged a coup in the final hour when the colony turned against Lum. This option requires a whopping 100 persuasion, which makes the grind even more intense. The most efficient way to build persuasion is through the Assist the Governor activity. Unlocking this activity requires either 60 persuasion or rebellion to be under 30, and can be triggered this year when completing an activity in the administration building. Once again, Glow season ends with a colony attack, but this year, with the Helios soldiers by your side, the defense feels far more stable. Lum might be more showman than strategist, but the colonists rally together and hold the line. And that wraps up year 15 in our Golden Path walkthrough. The arrival of the Helios completely revitalized the colony after last year's devastation. Saul met 3 new companions, Rex, Nomi, and Vase, and unlocked the vintage focus device, the most powerful gear in the entire game. This year also marked the beginning of Saul's path toward a future career, laying the groundwork for how their story will ultimately conclude. In the next episode, we'll guide Saul through year 16, where we'll keep building those bonds and help Rex chase his dream of opening a bar. Here on screen is the month-by-month breakdown of the actions I took. Feel free to use it as a reference for your own run. If you're enjoying this walkthrough, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment here on Buddy Up Gaming. I'd love to hear how your own Exocolonist runs are going. See you on Vertumna.